Okay, welcome back to another Trimlunch Codes video. This time I want to talk about a really cool NPM package I discovered called Sentiment. And the thing that this does that's really interesting is that you can pass any arbitrary string into it and it will tell you, does this string have an overall positive sentiment or negative sentiment? So we just NPM install it, then we can require sentiment, instantiate a new sentiment instance here, call analyze, throw a string into it, and it gives us a result. So that's really cool, super simple, 4 lines of code. And so just wanted to do this, demonstrate it real quick. I was going to use TypeScript just because I like TypeScript. So I'll just call this sentiment video. Okay, so loaded up here, it created an index.ts for us and a nice tsconfig file. So the first thing we can do here is come in and search for this package sentiment. So if you're using your own shell terminal program, you would npm install sentiment. Right here in REPL.it, just to make this demo go a little bit quicker, smoother. So I'm installing sentiment like this. Okay, seemed like that worked fine. If we go back to package.json, you can see sentiment here. So let's just start coding it now. We can import sentiment from sentiment. See what it doesn't like. Okay, so it just doesn't like that I haven't used this yet. Now, I'm just going to call this maybe analyzer, and this we're going to instantiate the sentiment. And note, if you look back here, you can customize this for different languages, registered language. You can use a custom scoring strategy if you wanted to. To me, the defaults are pretty good, but it is interesting that you can override those things. Okay, so sentiments for a string, I'm just going to say maybe string to check. Name this variable. Count piece. And I'm just going to say, my name is Jim. Okay. And now we can log this. So I'm going to call the analyze function on this analyzer, passing in string to check. Okay. I can say command enter to run this. Okay, and it's saying, okay, so it looks like it wants me to install this types / sentiment. So I'm going to go back here to packages and search for this, type sentiment, it's right here. So let's add that. Okay. And then let's run this again. Okay. I think the issue here is that this we can say as star as sentiment from sentiment. Okay, this you may be able to fix with different tsconfig settings, having a nicer import statement. To me, the import statement doesn't really matter a whole lot as long as it works. Okay, cool. So we're getting a score here of 0. It's looking at each of these words, and I guess giving each word a score of 0, and the total is just the sum of all those words. Okay? So maybe we can look at a more interesting example here. Let's have a lot of positive words. I love this wonderful, happy thing. I don't know. Okay, so looks like happy has a score of 3, love has a score of 3, so the overall score is 6. Okay, so happy has a score of 3, wonderful has a score of 4, and hate has a score of -3. And so overall, the total sum is +4. And it's kind of interesting. Is this a bug? Should this be an overall positive thing? I don't know. I mean, it's pretty interesting to look at this AFINN, which I was not exactly sure what that was before I started looking into this. And you can kind of click this link. You can open up the zip file and see. Right? It's just a huge list of words, and each of these words looks like has a score between -5 and +5. So the script just goes through the list, determines which of the words occur there, gives it a score, adds up all the scores of the individual words, and that is the sentiment for the string. I guess it makes sense. And it's just really awesome that it's totally free, open source. You don't need to pay for it. You don't need to make any API calls. Just install this package. It's not especially fast to execute, I guess, because it has to go through that massive list of words. But it does work. It happens synchronously. You don't need to deal with promises and anything like that. And it's just such a nice syntax, right? You instantiate this thing, call one function, and then you're done, right? So definitely check this out. NPM package sentiment. So that's all for this video. Be sure to subscribe for more cold coding videos, and I'll see you next time.